Oh, there we go. Sorry. I was half asleep then. Hey guys, it's me. Tonight I'm just doing a quick video because tonight is a very important anniversary. It's actually the 75th anniversary of Operation Chastise, and if anybody's not familiar with that, that was the Dambusters raid in which 19 Lancaster crews took part, and unfortunately, only 11 came back, which 8 crews were lost, including 53 men. It was one of the most audacious operations of the Second World War and was designed to hit the German war industry in the Ruhr, because a lot of them were actually powered by turboelectric dams on the Ruhr. So it was basically designed to affect it, which it did. It didn't do it a great deal, admittedly, in the wider aspect, but it certainly gave Hitler and his generals a bloody nose because they thought they were invulnerable. Well, they weren't. And it's something that has always been a great story in my mind, particularly on how low they flew, because they had to fly down to at least 60 feet to get an accurate, well, I think it was 60 feet and 450 yards or meters from the actual dam to drop the bomb. A lot of documentaries have been made about the raid. I've read a book about it recently, which was fantastic. I mean, it wasn't just only the 3 main dams. There was 2 others which you didn't know about, which were reserve dams. I did have the book in my library. Unfortunately, sold it on. I can't remember the name of the title now. I think it came out in unison with the 70th anniversary 5 years ago. If I can remember it, I will certainly let you know in one of my videos, or Stu's back on the bench, and then you can see if it's still published. Another book that I do know about, which my late father raved about, and he'd read it, was one actually written by Guy Gibson himself called Enemy Coast Ahead. Now, I'm not sure if it's still being published or not. I'm certainly going to find out, because it's actually taken from his own personal viewpoint. And unfortunately, Guy Gibson didn't actually survive the war because he was killed on an air raid flying a Mosquito. I think around about a year later, sadly. But as I say, it's more essentially tonight is about the 53 men who didn't return. There is one surviving crew member, as far as I know, and that's Wing Commander Johnny Johnson. He actually was the bomb aimer, I think, on A Apple, which actually took part in the raid on the Salpe Dam. And apparently they had to go around 9 times until they actually got the actual angle of attack right. Or was it on the 10th attempt they came down, dropped the bomb, although it didn't really damage the dam with great effect. And apparently one of his crew members turned around and repeatedly said, "Thank God for that. We can all go home now." So there you go. But the raid did actually affect the designer Barnes Wallis, who invented the bouncing bomb. When he found out the amount of crew losses, it affected him very, very deeply, and apparently he reputedly said to Guy Gibson after the raid, "If I'd known that we were going to lose this many men, I would never have actually entertained this operation in the first place." And apparently Guy Gibson turned around and said to him, "Look, if those men knew that they weren't coming back, they would have gone ahead anyway." And I'm sure that's true, and that was the case. They certainly would have. Because if it hadn't been for those 53 men, including the crews that survived that night, you and I would not be having this conversation now. I wouldn't be doing this video, and we all wouldn't be leading the lives that we take for granted every day today. So we must never ever forget. So there you go. Personally, I've got a little connection in regard to the film, which was made in 1955, because I've actually got a picture hanging up on the wall opposite my modelling bench, which is Richard Todd, as you can see here, a signed photo by him of him doing the briefing during the actual film, which you can see here. I hope you can see it. Let me have a look. It's just down here. This is the one. Now, admittedly, the signature is up here and it's faded a little bit over time, but it's a picture that I really, truly treasure. Because, to be honest with you, the Dambusters film is actually one of my favourite war films. And Richard Todd is one of my favourite actors. And in fact, he was heavily involved after the film and through many years of his remaining life with the Dambusters Association. And he was also a war veteran himself because he actually took part in the raid on Pegasus Beach on June the 6th, 1944. So there you go. So there's a little fact you didn't know. Okay. And also tonight, as I'm doing this video, there is a live 75th anniversary concert going on at the Royal Albert Hall, which is actually being hosted by Dan Snow. And I think they're actually screening the film, and they're in the Showcase cinemas tonight. There is digitally remastered copies of the film being screened as we speak. And I think that's the finest fitting tribute that we can have to all those boys who took part, more essentially the 53 who didn't return. So there you go. And hopefully at some stage I will get hold of a Dambuster Lank and build it in honour of them. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to finish on that note now. So in the meantime, you take care of yourselves. Whatever you're doing to mark the occasion, do so. And as I say, more essentially, I think it's important that we remember the 53 who didn't return, lest we forget. Okay. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. So until next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.